In the stillness of an otherwise ordinary evening, a ripple of chaos erupted across social media platforms when a shaky, grainy video clip began circulating among fans, one that appeared to show Jungkook of BTS quietly slipping into a recording studio. The clip was only a few seconds long, captured from the corner of a dim hallway, but it was enough to ignite a wildfire of theories, excitement, panic, and overwhelming anticipation within the ARMY community. Some said it was nothing more than a casual visit. Others insisted it was the beginning of something monumental, something that would shatter the silence fans had been enduring. And just like that, a global frenzy began, fueled by curiosity and the unmistakable electricity that always follows Jungkook whenever he steps toward anything related to music. The video itself was simple: a hooded figure, mask on, posture relaxed yet purposeful, walking slowly toward a studio door. The person pressed a security keypad, the door clicked open, and before disappearing inside, the hood slipped back just briefly, exposing unmistakable features, sharp eyes, a defined jawline, and a familiar silhouette the whole world had memorized. There was no mistaking it. It was Jungkook. And he was entering a recording studio, something he hadn't been publicly seen doing for months. Within minutes, the online world exploded. "Is this real?" one fan wrote. Another added, "He's working on something. I can feel it." Thousands of reposts followed. Memes, screenshots, zoomed-in frames, color-corrected screenshots, and exaggerated theories filled timelines. Some fans convinced themselves they heard music in the background even though there was none. Others analyzed the way he walked, the clothes he wore, the time of day the clip was recorded. It didn't matter how small the detail, every single element was turned into evidence for a larger, thrilling possibility: Jungkook was preparing something new. Something that would shake the music world. The surrounding mystery only intensified as the hours passed. No official statement emerged from HYBE. No staff member denied or confirmed anything. No one from BTS team attempted to calm down the buzz. And if anything, the silence made the atmosphere even heavier. Fans weren't just excited, they were restless, breathless, clinging to every rumor, every speculation, every piece of conversation that hinted Jungkook was finally back working on a new project. Some fans argued he might be recording a soundtrack for a new film. Others speculated it could be a solo comeback, possibly his next big concept after the global success of his previous releases. A few more dramatic ones suggested a full album was in the works, an album he had supposedly been planning for over a year. He wouldn't go into a studio at this hour unless it was serious, fans wrote passionately in comment sections. He's up to something. Something huge. And the theories kept growing. As the speculation grew louder, a familiar sense of unity awakened within the fandom. Armies from different countries, Indonesia, Korea, the Philippines, India, the United States, Brazil, Mexico, and countless more, gathered to share their excitement. Livestream discussions formed spontaneously. Some fans stayed up all night, unwilling to miss even the smallest update. The online community buzzed like a giant heartbeat, synchronized and alive, connected by one name that continued to dominate every timeline: Jungkook. Meanwhile, observers outside the fandom couldn't help but notice the growing noise. Industry insiders began whispering about the timing. Jungkook's contract renewal discussions, past interviews hinting he still had many songs left to share, and the fact that he had previously mentioned missing the studio. Everything suddenly resurfaced, adding more wood to the fire of speculation. Music producers who had worked with him before reposted vague emojis. Photographers shared cryptic messages. Even unrelated artists were dragged into theories, with some fans believing Jungkook was preparing a collaboration behind the scenes. Hours turned into days, and the frenzy refused to calm down. Instead, the excitement spread like a tidal wave. Fan art depicting Jungkook in a studio flooded Twitter. Short fan edits using dramatic background music emerged on TikTok. Instagram reels showcased fans pretending to collapse from excitement. Even those who weren't normally fans of BTS found themselves curious. What was he doing there? Why was he alone? Why did he look so determined? All of these questions fueled the narrative further, but the strongest theory of all, the one that captured the hearts of millions, was that Jungkook was preparing something personal. Something reflective. Something he had been holding on to quietly, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal. That idea alone sent shivers down the spine of fans who had been waiting patiently for a sign of his next artistic move, and so, the fandom watched. They monitored the building. They analyzed schedules. They tracked staff members. They studied lighting, shadows and photos to determine when the video might have been taken. They examined the reflection on the studio door, hoping to catch a hint of the inside. Every detail, no matter how small, became a clue, but the more the clip was discussed, the more one thing became clear: Jungkook looked focused. Not tired, not bored, not casually dropping by. He walked with intention. His posture spoke louder than words. His presence radiated something powerful, something only true artists emit when they're in the midst of creation. A new theory emerged, a theory that hit the fandom hard. What if Jungkook was preparing a surprise release, not a planned comeback? Not a teased announcement, but a true surprise, something dropped out of nowhere, without warning, without hashtags, without teasers. The mere possibility set the internet ablaze all over again. Fans compared the situation to past surprise releases by other global artists. They imagined the moment Jungkook would press the button, releasing a track that would dominate charts worldwide within minutes. The anticipation grew unbearable. Days passed, and still nothing was confirmed. But fans didn't give up. Their excitement didn't fade. If anything, the lack of updates made them more determined. They continued monitoring every move near the studio building. They exchanged information. They debated. They waited, patiently, anxiously, laughing, crying, and spiraling together, because that's what ARMY does best when it comes to Jungkook. And as the world watched the speculation grow to unprecedented levels, a bigger, more emotional truth began to surface. Fans weren't just excited because Jungkook might be releasing something. They were excited because they missed him. They missed his voice. They missed his laughter, his presence, the spark he brought to every performance. Seeing him step into a studio again awakened something inside them: hope that the silence would soon break, hope that their idol was doing what he loved, hope that new music, new performances, new emotional moments were on the horizon, hope that Jungkook was ready to return. The possibility alone felt like a warm embrace, and as rumors continued to swirl, something unusual happened. Even without a comeback announcement, Jungkook began trending worldwide day after day. His name stayed firmly in the top ranks of social platforms. News outlets began reporting the chaos. Radio hosts mentioned the clip on air. Fan discussions evolved into global conversations. Jungkook had once again managed to shake the entertainment world, not by appearing on stage or releasing a song, but simply by walking into a studio. Every hour that passed brought new reactions. Fans cried tears of joy, expressing how deeply they missed hearing him sing. Others wrote emotional letters online, thanking him for returning to the place where he belonged, where his artistry thrives, where his passion lives. Some fans even created countdown timers, despite not knowing what they were counting down to. The unknown only intensified the excitement, but the emotional weight of the moment went beyond just music. Seeing Jungkook enter that room, just a door, just a hallway, just a silent moment, meant more to fans than outsiders could understand. It symbolized growth. Healing. A new chapter. A new beginning. It reminded them of everything Jungkook had given the world, and everything he still had left to give. And so, the world waited. Would he step out soon with a finished track? Would he post a cryptic photo? Would he appear on live and give a tiny hint? Would he remain silent, letting fans survive on theories alone? No one knew, but everyone held their breath, and in that stillness, in that global anticipation, one thing became certain. Whatever Jungkook was doing inside that studio, it was going to be worth the wait. Because Jungkook never does anything halfway.